Hello from Hamburg and welcome back to the SoundSupport Entertainment channel. I am a long-time Matrix Halo user. I have the LIO-8 for about 10 years now, and recently I had to do a string recording here, cello and violin here at my studio, which is quite unusual because I'm basically a mastering studio, and I wanted to find out how can I give the players a latency-free monitoring. And so always if I have questions like this, I call up Stefan Bahr from Matrix Halo Germany, and of course he could help me out in the forefield, so I managed to give them a latency-free monitoring. But adding to that, one day after the recording, Stefan showed up here in my studio and we made a video about the complexity and the optimal use of the Mio Console. Have fun.
So turn on the lights and stars.
Okay, so we have Stefan Bahr here.
Hello.
I would say this is a kind of a reverse documentary, because the recordings have been done yesterday with those three beautiful microphones. Yes, especially this one. This is a Neumann M269. And the cheapest, what I've seen, the cheapest rate on reverb, I guess it was the cheapest. 16,000 euro. Wow. But I've seen it also for 24,000. This is my beloved Shops MS Colette configuration, and this again a Neumann KM84,
classic,
which I didn't have on my radar, to be honest.
Okay.
I didn't have on my radar, and it's excellent for violence. So we recorded the violence with it.
Right.
So, and I've been asking Stefan, how can I set up my Mio Console in order for the artists to listen to themselves without any kind of latency? And which finally has worked really well, and we're going to show you now how we did it.
Yeah, great.
So we're here in the studio.
Oh, this is a Lavry Gold, right?
This is a Lavry Gold. Here we have the Matrix Halo LIO-8. So I hope everything is in focus.
Geschlossenes System, ne?
Geschlossenes System, sowas von geschlossen, wirklich.
Also richtig luftig.
Ne? Richtig brutal. Und dann haben die, kannst du auf der Homepage, kann man darüber erfahren, was die alles machen.
Ah ja, okay.
Und meine Wenigkeit sitzt auch gut da drin, ja. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, there can appear some questions sometimes, but thank God we have Stefan Bahr here, and he's going to answer all of that now.
Yeah, this session window, was the latest addition to the Mio Console. Basically, it was the record panel in the beginning. It was a very simple recorder where you just can track things. You make record, it records. You play stop.
I remember back in the days.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, 5 to 7 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that was introduced, and so right now it's a complete DAW with a bunch of features that you can see here. You have all those, of course, the file management, editing. You can split stuff. You can select loops, bounce, whatever you do with a classic DAW. And
so now I have an advanced question.
Yes.
Let's say we want to show our audience how to start from scratch in the Mio Console.
Right.
So let's say we're going to clear all of those channels now. So we have an empty plate with nothing.
Perfect.
Will session still record the session window?
It will still record until we delete this input channel.
This one input channel should be left.
Should be left, yeah. And the rest can be done.
Okay.
Well, we can do this right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we are going to do a whole series of little videos about the Mio Console.
I appreciate that.
Yes, and we will show you today how to set up a monitor mix for the artists, because that was exactly the situation I had at the weekend. Very successful, but we with I don't know 3 phone calls during the week, and three instruction calls. But then finally I got it, and everybody was really happy with the monitoring.
Yeah, and this is the thing, is I really appreciate that you called me to make this video, because a lot of people run into some kind of struggle when they're dealing the first time with all those features that you have inside the Mio Console.
Yeah.
And I also spoke with BJ a lot about it now, because there is some kind of thought process that established over the years that leads to some kind of confusion. And I see 2 main approaches that are definitely wrong. And one thing is really how people see in the Mio Console or the audio interface on the modern setup. And okay, here we have a super mastering suite sitting there, and mostly you do this mastering of tracks that are already recorded. And maybe you have stem mixing or stuff like that. But basically, it's the approach is pretty clear, straightforward, with a bunch of options, of course, where you can route things forth and back to the needs. But basically, it's pretty have one direction. You have the file that goes to your speaker. Bam, that's it.
Yes, true.
And in the moment you start recording things, or let's turn a little bit around. In the moment you are the musician, your thought process is from your instrument to your DAW, maybe to your speakers.
Yes.
This is the way like you think. But in the moment you record yourself, you have a certain hat on your head, because you're an engineer, and the engineer thinks totally the other way around. An engineer thinks from his speakers to the instrument.
Okay.
And this is the approach that you should have in mind when you're using any kind of recording system. It doesn't matter what it is.
That was one phrase you told me, one line you told me in one of the phone sessions, and I was thinking, I've been thinking about that a lot. I still don't get it quite finally, but
we will lay it out. Yeah, we lay it out a little bit later when we make the editing here.
All right.
And the other thing, and this is maybe the most important thing, what is the centerpiece of your studio?
Okay.
And this is your audio interface.
Okay.
Like it was the mixing desk at the beginning of the studios.
Sure.
And most of the people thinking as the DAW as the centerpiece of the studio.
Okay.
And this is definitely wrong, because the DAW is your tape machine. And we have very sophisticated tape machines right now.
Absolutely.
But
well, I see my DAW as my tape machine. I've always did it, but not everybody.
Exactly. You have the experience with tape machines and stuff like that. No? But most of the people nowadays they see the DAW, and this is where it starts. And the centerpiece of their studio is the DAW. No, it's not. It's your audio interface. And the mixing desk of your audio interface, as it was the mixing desk in the studio in the old days. And this is very important. And if you think in that way, suddenly things become a new perspective.